Well, my name's Zawadzki. I am trained as a hydrologist, but I've done a number of different things in my career. So normally what I do is I just sort of give you a bit of a background on what I've done in my career, then I open it up to some questions. So I did a master's in hydrology when I was back in Ontario at Wilfrid Laurier University. It's actually a joint program with University of Waterloo. And I focused in on cold regions research. So I worked on snow and ice, and that was kind of my passion at the time. I really liked being out in the mountains and on glaciers and doing that type of research. It was very exciting. And that's why a lot of the equipment you see here relates to snow and to walking on ice and that sort of thing. After I finished, my thesis in grad school was looking at the impact of climate change on the flow of highly glaciarized basins in the Canadian Rocky Mountains. So I looked at a basin that provides about 50% of the city of Calgary's water supply and what will happen in the future if climate was to change. So that was a really interesting topic to look at. After that, I got a job as a consultant working for a global engineering company based in Calgary. So we did a lot of water resources type work for a variety of clients in hydrocarbons, oil and gas, mining, as well as municipal work. Did that for a while. I didn't want to work for oil and gas anymore. I came to a point in my career where I found a lot of the work I was doing was in the oil sands, and I didn't agree with that. And so I was conflicted, and I decided to start a renewable energy company, a hydro company basically, because my background's in water. I thought I can use those skills to build small hydro facilities. So I did that. We raised a couple $1 million, and we managed to build a hydro company that won a contract with BC Hydro for 40 years for 2 projects in northern BC. We built those projects, and then we sold the company to another company. After that, I took some time off and decided what I wanted to do next, and I got into lithium, of all things. Lithium is a metal that is used for a variety of things, but the growth sector for lithium is in batteries. Batteries in computers, your phones, but specifically in cars. A lot of cars use a lot amount of batteries now, and I thought that's really interesting, having cars that don't produce carbon. I think that's really important. When I find out that there's a lithium shortage that's being forecasted in the next 5 years, I thought this is a problem that a global problem that I may be able to help solve. So we got into what's the best lithium project to get into. The lithium can be found in rock, it can be found in clay, it can be found in groundwater. And when I looked at it, groundwater made a lot of sense because it's fluid, it flows, it's easy to move as opposed to rock. You know, if I asked you to move that little bit of water from one place to another, you can just pour it if you wanted to, right? It flows, you move that bunch of rock, it takes more energy, and times that by a massive scale, it really starts to add up. Clay is similar. Clay is kind of like the oil sands of the lithium business. You're taking big amounts of soil and you're processing it, and then you're moving the soil around. It's very ineffective. Lithium in brine, which is we call salty water brine, and salty water is where lithium is in the ground, made a lot of sense. So we got into a project in Nevada right now, and that's what I've been doing for the last 4 months is raising money. We need money to do this, so we raised a couple $1 million last month. Developing exploration program to find the lithium and looking at technologies and really new technologies to take the lithium out of the water and then put the water back in the ground where we got it from. And this is a concept that we call invisible mining. You can't even see that this is being done with the exception of a few water wells that are on the surface and a small 100 meter by 100 meter footprint processing facility. So that made a lot of sense to me. There are like global problems that we can solve in environmentally sustainable ways. That's really interesting, and that's related to water, which I know. And that's where I am today right now.